We begin with this breaking traffic news. There's a deadly crash that has closed Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway on the Big Island. We don't have many details at this time. We know 2 vehicles are involved, and again, this is a fatal incident. Officials tell us Waikoloa Beach Drive to Kona Airport is closed and will stay that way for several hours as police investigate. Meanwhile, here on Oahu, an overturned truck has been blocking multiple westbound lanes of the H1 at the KUNIA interchange, and there's been a very intense backup that is formed. You can see that in this video. We'll keep you updated on both these still developing situations on your H&N digital platforms.
Aloha and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This is now Ashley and Jonathan here. We don't have those coronavirus numbers from the State Department of Health yet, but when we do get them, we will bring them to you. Now to the other developing story of the day. Colt Brennan has died at the age of 37, sources tell Hawaii News Now. Police in Costa Mesa, California say the Hawaii football legend suffered a drug overdose. The record-setting quarterback and Heisman Trophy finalist led UH to unprecedented heights during his time with the Warriors. Ian Shuring takes a look back at his life.
Details about his passing were not immediately available, but Brennan is believed to have been at a rehabilitation facility in California at the time of his death. Brennan's decision to come to Hawaii after a championship career at Saddleback College in California marked the beginning of a legendary run in Manoa, a series of team successes that hadn't been reached before and haven't since. The sidearm slinger led an overpowering offense that helped Hawaii win the Hawaii Bowl in 2006. Brennan passed for 53 touchdowns in a single season that year and finished the regular season undefeated a year later. Brennan was named the WAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2007. He also finished that year as a Heisman Trophy finalist, the first player to do so in Hawaii football history. In a game against Boise State that year, he became the NCAA's all-time leader in touchdown passes, one of many records he would hold at the end of his storied career.
I've been a part of something special these last 2 years, and I decided to come back for my senior year.
Today, we spoke with Rich Miano, a former assistant coach at the University of Hawaii, while Brennan was a Warrior.
Like people have said, this sounds crazy, but when you talk about Tiger Woods, you talk about Tom Brady, LeBron James, he was that popular in the state of Hawaii. I mean, I've been with him you pull up at a McDonald's and then all of a sudden there's a line out the door. We had an autograph session, specifically for Colt Brennan during those years. And that line wrapped around the lower campus all the way to the ticket booth and back. And I'm like, this is only an hour. How do these people, literally thousands of them, expect to get an autograph from this guy in this time frame? But I've never seen at any level in any sport at the university in the last 40 years somebody that was so loved and somebody that loved Hawaii.
Miano said Brennan's star burned more brightly at Hawaii than any other player he'd seen. His former teammate Michael Lafayette had similar reflections after learning of his passing.
My phone's blowing up with all my teammates, and everyone's kind of shocked and sad at the same time. It's not something we want to wake up to. Really, my heart's hurting right now.
Another former Warrior, Greg Salas, had this to say.
Yeah, in 07 against, how many times did he have a comeback victory, whether it was in the rain, against San Jose State or Nevada with a game-winning kick, Washington at home to send us to the Sugar Bowl in front of a sold-out crowd at Lost Stadium and watch us battle back from 21 down. We knew that he can do it.
And Nate Ilawa shared this memory with us.
There's one play where he threw an interception, and we go flying to the sideline to tackle the guy. And I tackle the guy and throw him down, and, Colt tries to tackle him. But he ends up hitting me and kind of knocking me down. And instead of worrying about the interception, he's telling me how he finally tackled me. But I told him it didn't count. It was on the sideline. But, Coach Jones is right there yelling at us about the interception, and we're over there arguing about if he tackled me or not. So that's the kind of guy he was. He loved playing.
In 2008, he was selected by the Washington Redskins in the 6th round of the NFL Draft. Despite playing well in the preseason, Brennan did not see regular season action that year, and his 2009 campaign was cut short by an injury. Then, during the 2010 offseason, Brennan would suffer an injury away from the football field that would change his life. He and his then-girlfriend were involved in a car accident on Hawaii Island that left him hospitalized and changed.
But I think it's the price for fame and success, and it's just a part of it.
Those close to him believed that the car accident was the root cause of a series of legal troubles he would experience later in his life, including multiple arrests for driving under the influence of an intoxicant. In recent years, Brennan worked to try and give back to local football communities, volunteering with the Kahuku High School football team and a number of other youth organizations across the state.
You know, and I'm sorry, man. I know there's people concerned about me, and I want to thank them for all the things that they've done.
We'll have much more on this story coming up on your Hawaii News Now digital platforms and on later editions of Hawaii News Now. For This Is Now, I'm Ian Schuring.
So this new inter-island travel passport program allows travelers to skip the testing and the quarantine. Sammy Salina traveled to the Garden Isle this morning and has all the details on how it works.
Yeah, we made it to Kauai and we went through that new program, and basically what you need to have is you need to have one of those vaccine cards. And what you do is you put in your flight information to the Safe Travels website, and you're going to want to upload that card, and you're going to want to bring it with you. And it works pretty much the same way. You upload your documents, you upload your flight information, and eventually once you land, you can see that folks are going through the process right now. You're going to want to go ahead and get checked in, and folks are going to scan that QR code. They're going to want to see that physical card that you have as well, so it's important to bring with you. Now, a few things to know and to mention. If you didn't get your vaccine in Hawaii, it won't work for you. This is only for inter-island, and even if you're a Hawaii resident, you need to have received your vaccine here in Hawaii, and you also would have need to received it 2 weeks ago, because it takes 2 weeks to kick in once you get that last dose. So once you land, it is still a little bit of a process that you have to go through. So it's not like you're home free and you can go ahead and get in your Uber or get in your taxi. You still have to get checked in. So it is a little bit faster, but that's just something to know. We'll take it back to you guys.
So what's being done to make sure people don't cheat this new passport program? We talked to the Lieutenant Governor about security this morning on Sunrise.
How prepared, how well trained are authorities at spotting fake documentation?
It's hard to tell. I mean, there's some sharp cookies here. They're really on it. I'm looking at a lot of cards. I've been passing out this plastic thing, which helps put your card. It fits in the official CDC card, fits right in there. This is so you don't wash it in your pants or in the, in the laundry. I think they're good at it. There's not a lot of people that are, I think, crazy enough to falsify a CDC federal document and face a big fine when they're just trying to fly inter-island. That seems like that would be bonkers to me. So I don't think we're going to see much of that. But the algorithm behind the scenes can check, and all these cards look about the same. So hopefully people will be, honorable. We believe in the honor system to the largest extent we can, and I really think it's going to be good for our local residents.
When exactly do the passengers get their information verified? Is it when they go through TSA, get on the plane, or when they get off?
The final verification is when they get off. So right now they're just showing their, their usual papers, their QR code for the travel or their boarding pass, and they're going through like normal. When they get off the plane, they've already been uploaded. They'll just bust out their card and go through the line. It should be super duper fast. So I am supposed to remind everybody, even if you've uploaded your vaccination card into the Safe Travels program, you must carry it with you. You must carry it with you because they're going to check. And they check it, you can pull out your ID, real seamless. Obviously it matches you and your birthday. There's not a lot of ways to defraud this thing unless you're really trying to take advantage. So far, so good. I'm really pleased. Things are going smoothly here at the airport.
U.S. airlines and airports are scrambling for jet fuel. This comes days after that cyber attack shut down the country's largest refined fuel products pipeline. American Airlines now says it will add stops for 2 long-haul flights out of Charlotte. A nonstop Honolulu flight will now stop at Dallas-Fort Worth International, where fuel supplies have been distributed. Customers will change planes there to continue to Hawaii. With more on these impacts across the country, here's Elise Preston.
Lines for gasoline are popping up in several states in the southeast, including North Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. Many drivers are concerned about stations running out.
You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be the one that doesn't get gas.
The FBI says a private group of Russian hackers called DarkSide is responsible for a cyber attack that has crippled the Colonial Pipeline that runs from Texas to New Jersey.
So far, there is no evidence based on from our intelligence people that Russia is involved, although there's evidence that the actors' ransomware is in Russia. They have some responsibility to deal with this.
Colonial Pipeline is working to restart its paralyzed computer systems. They hope to reopen the line later this week, but caution supply shortages are possible in the short term.
AAA says if the outages are in fact short-term, then we shouldn't see a big impact on prices or supply. But if it starts to stretch out, then we could see some problems.
I said, okay, I think it's a better time just to do it now rather than later.
Oh, so you weren't planning on getting gas?
I was planning, but it wasn't necessary until maybe tomorrow, but you never know.
To help prevent shortages, the Transportation Department is making it easier to move fuel by truck. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
So today we got a clue at when exactly Japanese visitors will return to the islands, and it really wasn't what we were hoping for, right, Howard? What'd you learn?
Right. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is guessing, you know, what economists are predicting and stuff like this, but this is a concrete, putting your money where your mouth is thing. Japan Airlines announced it is completely canceling its second daily flight from Narita to Honolulu, not just for a few weeks, not just for a month, but through September. And what that says to me is they have so few bookings that they see nothing even close to a renaissance in Japan tourism in Hawaii for any time this summer.
All right, let's put this in perspective. You're holding the model right there. How many people are on these planes from Japan to Hawaii on the average? Like, how many average tourists are we getting from Japan on normal circumstances?
If it's pre-COVID normal, you figure 300 to 500 people on a plane, depending on what size. Of course, ANA has very large jumbo jets, and they can hold 500. Even a smaller jet holds 300. Pre-COVID normal is 4,000 to 5,000 Japanese arrivals daily. We're down to a few hundred a month at the most.
And as you mentioned earlier on Sunrise, I know there's hotels that are focused in on the Japanese visitors. They're pushing back their plans for the resurgence. Also, there's a number of other businesses that specifically rely on Japanese visitors, talking wedding industry, hotels, like I mentioned, restaurants,
right,
tour companies.
Yeah, the importance of that is that if it were spread out evenly on all islands and in all tiers of all hotels, it would still be bad enough because we do get so many people from Japan ordinarily. But it isn't spread out evenly. There are specific hotels and specific tours and specific companies that cater specifically to the Japanese. Halekulani, for example, a great hotel that is Japanese owned and gets a lot of people from Japan. They were going to open in July and they pushed it back to September 1st because there wasn't going to be anybody coming. So they might as well take some time to do the renovation right.
In your years of doing all your business reporting, is there a way the state can make up this pie piece that's going to be missing from the tourism money that comes in?
No, it's basically gone forever because when it comes back, there won't be that much pent-up demand. So eventually it'll get better, but this is stuff that's gone forever. And not only that, but there may be some smaller businesses that specialize in Japanese that will fail before they get a chance to make anything back. Some businesses in some restaurants are or will be gone forever.
All right, Howard Dyke is certainly not the news we wanted to hear this morning. We'll toss it back over to Ashley.
More on those airline credits that are starting to expire. At least 2 U.S. senators are calling on the airlines to issue refunds or eliminate expiration dates. They say if the companies don't do something to fix the problem, Congress will make them. Chris Van Cleve has more.
Shelley McClaskey worries she may be out nearly $900 for flights she and her family didn't take last Christmas.
We thought that, things might open up by the end of the year. And it wasn't until Thanksgiving that we really thought, California at that time in Los Angeles area was shut down even more. So we just didn't think it was a good idea.
They canceled their Southwest Airlines tickets and were given a flight credit. Since they booked the trip last June, that credit expires next month, before they'll be able to use it. Flyer complaints over refunds skyrocketed last year from less than 1,600 in 2019 to more than 89,500 in 2020. And now Consumer Reports says they've seen a tenfold increase in complaints about flight vouchers since January. Complicating the issue, every airline's voucher policy is different.
It shouldn't be up to the airlines to determine when a passenger feels comfortable flying again. It should be up to that passenger.
Monday, Senators Ed Markey and Richard Blumenthal, both Democrats, sent letters to all major U.S. airlines demanding flight credits, especially those issued during the pandemic, never expire.
The airlines should refund the price of their ticket. They're not doing that. The least that they should do is extend the expiration date of that ticket. The airlines don't want to do that.
While the number of flyers is on the rise, passenger levels remain below that of 2019. U.S. airlines are still losing about $100 million a day. In a statement, an industry trade group says many airlines created voucher policies exceeding the Department of Transportation's guidelines. McClaskey says she'll be flying a different airline moving forward.
We will just, make them suffer with using our monies at one of their competitors.
U.S. airlines did give about $13 billion in refunds last year. They say that's up 72% from 2019, but there's still an estimated $10 billion in these flight vouchers. And as some of those start to expire, that's prompting these senators to say the airlines need to come up with a solution. Southwest tells us they will look at this family's circumstance and may be able to give a case-by-case extension. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
We have those coronavirus numbers for you now. The state health department is reporting 64 new infections today and no new deaths. The breakdown by island shows 3 cases on the Big Island, 1 on Kauai, 6 on Maui, 50 on Oahu, and 4 residents were diagnosed out of state.
And we're getting breaking news. I'm trying to pull up some video just into our newsroom right now. And if you bear with me, I can. Breaking news of a building fire. This is taking place in Waikiki. I'm told this is 2500 Kuhio right there. Oh, you can see flames shooting out of that roof there. This video coming into us, sent to us from Keahi Tucker, and I'm going to re-rack this video so you can watch it one more time. I can't quite make out which building that is, but again, it's the 2500 block of Kuhio Avenue there. Again, flames shooting out of the roof of that building. We see black smoke going into the air there. Certainly a scene like this in Waikiki is certainly to draw a lot of attention. We'll keep following this for sure for you. Get any updates, we'll pass them along in this newscast, and of course, bring you all the details when we get them, write them up on our H&N digital platforms. As you just saw, so much breaking news we had today. I want to switch gears here just a bit, take you over to Guy Hoggy, get a check of that weather.
How's it on this Tuesday? Get ready for more beautiful weather. Those trade winds are pushing in just a handful of showers for a few windward spots this morning. They should dry up as the day progresses. Leeward sides won't get much rain for the next several days. And then those trade winds running breezy already. It's going to be especially windy in and around Maui County. And the trade winds will be running firm for the next several days, except of course for the Kona side of the Big Island, those light and variable winds. So it's going to be a beautiful, comfortable day today. But if you spend any extended time outdoors, maybe hiking Kokoed, make sure you take a lot of sunblock. You're going to need it because we're expecting lots of sunshine by the middle of the day. But those trade winds will help to keep us cool, blowing in at 10 to 20. Those trade winds also are roughing up the surf over on the east side where that trade swell is running 3 to 5. The south and north shores are kind of on the way down, but we are expecting a nice little pulse rolling into south shores by tomorrow. So we've got steady trade winds through Friday, an increase in those trade showers coming on Friday, and then an increase in the trade winds coming on Saturday. Keep it here on Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
All right, let's see what the internet's talking about. This is a bizarre story out of Houston where people are on high alert after a pet tiger, yes, you heard that correctly, a pet tiger was seen wandering around, and we've learned that the tiger's owner is out on bond for murder. Mola Langi has the story.
a tiger in my neighborhood.
Tonight, the man who apparently owns this tiger is now in custody. He's also charged with murder in another case.
It has a collar. It is somebody's pet.
This video, taken by residents on Sunday, shows the confrontation between an off-duty sheriff's deputy and the Bengal tiger.
The pistol was actually pointed at the tiger in case that tiger bit him.
The owner intervenes, walking the tiger into the house.
There was a brief pursuit, and the man got away with the tiger.
Houston police charged 26-year-old Victor Hugo Cuevas with felony evading arrest. He was out on bond, charged with murder in another Texas county.
It's not the animal's fault, it's the breeder's fault. It's unacceptable, it shouldn't be happening at all.
According to the World Wildlife Fund, there are more captive tigers in the United States than in the wild. Mola Langi, CBS News, New York.
All right, that is definitely getting some traction on the internet. I've seen that posted a number of places. Let's get to some more positive news, please. NASA news. We love our space news here at This Is Now. So the first asteroid sample is on its return mission, on its way back to Earth now. Yep, that's right. The spacecraft carrying it has headed back. It's going to take, get this, 2.5 years. Well, it's after a 2.5 year project to gather it, I should say. It's carrying just over 2 ounces of the material, and it will be heading back to Earth. It won't get here, though, just almost as long, not until 2023, September of 2023, when it will drop the sample somewhere over Utah at its training range. Yep, the spacecraft is in good health, we're told, and then it will be very exciting to see what unfolds with that. It could hold so many mysteries, and we'll just have to see what scientists find out. Super cool, right?
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's just gonna land one day in Utah.
Yeah, just a piece of an asteroid we mined. Yeah, that's it.
So Target is launching its own line of plant-based products. Now the retailer announced a new collection under its Good and Gather brand. The assortment features more than 30 meat and dairy alternatives. Now they include vegan spreads, plant-based dips, as well as imitation meat and chicken products with items priced under $8. Target says the new food will gradually roll out on its website and in stores through the fall.
Yep, just jumping on the bandwagon there, right?
And McDonald's is teaming up with the White House to spread the message of COVID vaccines. The fast food chain is redesigning its coffee cups to feature the slogan, "We can do this," and vaccine.gov. People can go to the site to find nearby appointments and gather safety information, and it will be printed on roughly 50 million cups. Now, customers should start seeing them in July, and the promotion is slated to last several weeks.
All right, and we do have one more food story, right? Starbucks?
Starbucks launching its first new limited flavor in more than 3 years, and it celebrates a summer staple, the Carnival. Now, meet the strawberry funnel cake frappuccino, clocking in at about as many calories as a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. The drink contains a blend of strawberry puree and whipped cream. Then it's topped with actual funnel cake pieces, including powdered sugar. Now, it's part of the chain's summer menu, which also includes a new cake pop shaped like a unicorn. So even though it's on the summer menu, not good for those summer bodies.
No way. We're going to get back to that breaking news that's coming into our newsroom. I want to show you this video one more time coming in from Waikiki. This is the 2500 block of Kuhio Avenue. Again, we're seeing flames shooting out of a roof of a large high-rise building there. We're seeing flames shooting out along with black smoke. This video came into our newsroom a little over 10 minutes ago. We'll continue to follow this along with any other developments. The other big story of the day is, of course, the passing of football legend Colt Brennan. We have a extensive coverage on our HNN digital platforms right now if you want to head there to read more about that. Until then, Ashley's going to be back here first at 4 on KHNL. She'll see you then. I'll be back here tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone.